Greetings and salutations. Welcome back to another Let's Play of Europa Universalis IV with RedBstrd. And this time we're doing something slightly different. For the first time, I'm going to be running a mod on my Let's Plays. So obviously this is not a mod that I personally created. It's from the Steam Workshop, which you can find. It's the second most downloaded currently. It's the World of Ice and Fire here, but on the Steam Workshop it's a Song of Ice and Fire. Obviously named after the George R. R. Martin books. Game of Thrones is the first book of the series, so the TV show on HBO was named after that. So I've done a couple of campaigns on this. I did just about an hour and a half or 2 hours as the Stormlands, ruled by House Baratheon, and that was really too easy with the way this was set up. I had a lot of tension of the game was over pretty quickly, and they did one as Cohort. I haven't finished that one yet. I've been playing quite a few hours on that, but it occurred to me that players might not, even if they're show fans, might not be all that interested in one of the free cities, not ruled by Daenerys or any of the main characters of the show, anything like that. So I figured I'd try something else. Let's go ahead and start up video here. So we have two different start options. We could play during Robert's Rebellion, in which the Targaryen prince Rhaegar has run off with Lyanna Stark at the very beginning of the game. That's one of the earliest events. And then there's a response that Robert Baratheon could call upon his alliance system to challenge the Targaryens. And that could turn out all sorts of different ways. Or we could play as Shattered World, which breaks it down against the lore. You have all of Westeros broken down into 1 or 2 province minors all over the place. So this does open up opportunities if you wanted to play as, somebody like Littlefinger. And he should be up here in the fingers. I'm not sure exactly which one, but you have that option where you could play as, still play as the Baratheons or the Tarths. There's all sorts of options. But we're going to do Robert's Rebellion, going for lore appropriate ones. And what I'd like to do is play as one of the wildling tribes, try to unite them to become the king beyond the wall, and invade Westeros. Try to get through the wall before winter comes, and invade and get our people south of the wall safely. And I don't know yet how winter actually works. There's a land of always winter up here. It looks like it'd be pretty difficult to colonize until you're pretty strong. So we need to pick one of these wildling groups. Crow Hunter sounds really cool, though. I might just pick that. Because let's just take a look. They all might have wildling ideas. They all should follow the old gods and be a wildling clan. Let's see if any of them are different. So this one's Craster's Keep. So he's got good stats, it looks like, and that flag's pretty cool. RedBstrd. Walker's Moss. I'm not seeing anything else really different about these. It's just largely positioning. And their ruler is really a big difference. Okay, so I think we have to go with Crow Hunter just because it's the name. I mean, if we're going to be trying to kill the Night's Watching it across the wall, then we should be Crow Hunters. What do we have? Well, we have a Wildling Technology Group. I don't know exactly what that's going to mean. It probably just has to do with institutions that will lack feudalism, for instance. The Old Gods, it doesn't tell us what the stats are right here. And we're clans, so we get more manpower and higher force limit. We have a 0 on military, which is kind of disheartening, but we're trying to conquer stuff, so this 5 in admin could definitely help. Okay, what are our traditions? We could raid coasts. Be interesting to see if we can make ships at game start. Because for lore reasons, we really shouldn't be able to. I don't know about us being nomadic, if we're going to have that option. Okay, so we get 25% more troops. And that's going to be a very large force limit. So I think we're going to probably try to take out a lot of mercs and just go wild, trying to take wildlings, go wild, and try to take over as much as we can north of the wall. Once we got that unified, then we can try bring our economy back under control and seeing if we can attack the Night's Watch. But I'm guessing that they're going to ally the north, and it will be an ugly war, so we might try sneaking around. But I really don't know what to expect. Okay, what do we get? Land, leader maneuver, morale of armies plus 20%. I mean, morale speed increase, 25% cheaper regiments, minus 15% attrition. That's kind of nice. I mean, if it was less than 15%, it wouldn't be notable. Plus 10% artillery because of our giants. Awesome. And yearly army tradition. What stands out to me is all of these, every single one, is a military idea. I can appreciate that. We're 1 province minor with 3 development. Let's just check out how we compare in terms of developments. So there's some big ones. We're not picking the powerful. The Crassers, wow, 19 development. This is the first men. We're going to be these crow hunters. Okay, yeah, that's what we're going to do. Normal difficulty, historical, lucky nations, no dynamic province things, nothing like that. We're just going to play them. We'll do it Iron Man so it auto saves for us. Let's go ahead and hit play here. I might continue our Black Goat of Cohor. We'll have to see how this goes. King Beyond the Wall. I think I might just have to go for quantity ideas first, just to see how large of an army we can get. So I think if we can become King Beyond the Wall, then we could get a huge army. Okay, endless summer. So it starts at summer, time for celebration. Our crops yield highly and our young grow strong. This is the most peaceful time across Westeros for the peasants, enjoying the mild weather. Okay, so we could fortify this in order to get some more manpower and army tradition. That would be really nice to get. I think this is going to keep popping up until we get that fortification, and we don't have the money to do that. So let's see, Than's Skull. Let's just make sure that they haven't rivaled us. No, we don't have any possible rivals. So yeah, Than's Skull, we need an ally. Contact the Iron Bank. Yeah, let's do that. So we have to decide what size our loans are going to be. Right now, they are just 1 ducat. Okay, we'll go to a neutral approach. Try aggressive. Okay, 24 times our monthly income. Yeah, that's fine. I'm not going to spend Diplo points to try getting that higher. 24. Okay, that's good because that should last us for a year and a half. Okay, what else do we have? We can commission a rune stone to give us an additional missionary. We'll hold off on that, because we're not going to have anything to convert for a while, I don't imagine. Just take a look at what's going on north here. Yeah, I mean, that's not going to be relevant until we get down to White Harbor, or further south. This is all the old gods. So I can just see that they do 6 times normal damage and vary. There's a 100% chance each month 10,000 nades would rise up. And the supply limits can be really low because there's only 3 development. So yeah, that would be a pain until we're very large to try colonizing, but we might do that just to see what would happen. Okay, come king beyond the wall. That's nice, I want to do that. We'd get 6 stability, change the country to the free folk, get new traditions and ambitions. I don't know if they could be any better than what we have. And we could get missionary strength. I'm just going to disable both those religious ones, restrict. So we have a zealotry. Like orthodox mechanics, Cohor had the same thing. That's nice. We're going to try getting that as high as we can. Don't want to restrict it. We'll never have any incentive to lower zealotry by spending resources. But I would be interested in paying some ducats to get higher zealotry. Can we just spam that? We could. We might do that. And we start with some artillery, which is great because artillery in this is really expensive. It costs us 100 ducats per unit of artillery. Well, I'm going to bring this up higher while we have the money, because that's going to give us more manpower and lower unrest on stuff we conquer. Let's go ahead and try to get this alliance right away. Looks like we can. And I don't know if we have any special CBs. We do not. So this is just 3 development. Holding a small despotic kingdom. Okay, 510. Wow. Yeah, that's a little old. I'm going to report that. It's infertile. But lowers aggressive expansion, so we definitely don't want to put that guy in charge of the battlefield. Let's entreat our clergy, let's do that. And we don't need these bonuses, so might end up making more money here than if we groveled for funds. But you get that 150 admin. Yeah, let's do that. I do want to cultivate favor here. That's a cheap way to do it. Okay, we can throw a festival here. Or we can get some... Let's get some stability for free. Give a public speech for more loyalty. Then we can throw a festival, get some loyalty. Actually give him 20 more influence. I get him up to 75. Yeah, let's do that. And throw a festival. That 20 prestige will come in really handy in these early battles. Not to mention that gives us more loyalty. Okay, we can entreat these merchants, sure. And we can get some Diplo points out of it, or funds. We'll go for the Diplo points. That's a lot of Diplo points. Okay, let's go ahead and assemble a council. And we are going to forge an alliance with the neighboring realm. Because we already sent an offer. We can gain a general for free with 5 army tradition. I think there's something that gives us army tradition in here. Let's just check. No, not that I can see. Okay, so if we were a settled nation, we... Oh no, this is if we have 50 or higher influence. Okay, let's give him a little bit of influence, first of all. Get appointed noble as our heir. Probably not going to get one any other way. So let's do that, and if we don't like him, then we could put him in charge of an army. 5, 4, 5. Godfrey. Actually, we're going to name him Mance. Okay, we're going to gain some army tradition here. We're at 85. We can grant a knighthood here. Yeah, I think that's the way to go. And now we can't appoint. Let's appoint commander. So different, gives us 15 army tradition. Okay, I think depending on the level of influence they have, it does slightly different things. Okay, and we're just going to leave this up there because that gives us a bonus here and it gives us army tradition, increases our force limits. We'll just enjoy this for as long as we can. Definitely not worthwhile to get 16 ducats. I mean, 200 military power would be pretty nice. If that dropped down to 65, I'd rather have those passive bonuses. And we do need to deal with our merchants. Looks like there's a northern Fargo meat. Like his name. Let's go ahead and collect there as well. We'll see how much money they bring in. Let's crank up the speed to 4. This mod runs really fast. Let's put this guy in charge. Yeah, he's not bad. Okay, fortify. Okay, Central Frost Fangs. Let's do that because I want that CB right away. Let's just wait 1 day before they get any sort of allies. They've only got 3 units of troops. It's glacial, so that's bad terrain for us to attack into. We could call our ally in, but I'm not going to. Okay, so we could turn off that event, Lyanna Stark, and go for something less lore-based, but no, we'll go for that. Okay, I guess I should read these off to us. Oh, Lord Crowhunter's finally died. And we got our 25 loyalty for successfully doing what our noble council had asked of us. Oh, Queen Regency. Okay, well she's 453, she's pretty good. Hopefully she has the appropriate trait, and our ally asks us for royal marriage. Okay, so what we just clicked past, which I shouldn't have done because this is all lore based. There was a tourney at Harrenhal, over here by God's Eye, and Rhaegar Targaryen won the tourney. And rather than giving his wife the garland that he was given for being victorious, he gave it to Lyanna Stark of House Stark, sister of Eddard, whose father is the Lord. Let's see here. Oh, Eddard actually came into it because of this event right here. And his brother Benjen is the heir. So Rhaegar Targaryen, the heir to the Crown Lands, gave that garland to Lyanna Stark, and then disappeared with her, assumedly, that she was kidnapped. That's what her family assumed. So then, her father and her eldest brother went down to King's Landing, the capital, and demanded Rhaegar to be turned over to him for justice, assuming that he, kidnapped and probably, abused Lyanna Stark. But when they showed up, they were arrested by the king. So hearing of Brandon's arrest, Rickard rode to Red Keep to petition with Aerys, the king, demanding a trial by combat. Aerys happily granted him the trial. He declared fire as his champion. Aerys had Rickard suspended from the rafters in the throne room, and as pyromancers kindle a blaze beneath the Lord of Winterfell. Brandon Stark was brought in to watch, placed within a Tyroshi strangling device. As Rickard cooked in his armor, Brandon strangled himself, attempting to reach a long sword just outside of his reach. So, the brother of Lyanna showed up in King's Landing, demanding, a duel to the death with Rhaegar, and he was arrested. So Lord Rickard, our father, went down and was arrested as well, put in a trial by combat, burnt to death. And Brandon, Lyanna's brother, strangled himself trying to get free. Having brutally murdered Brandon Stark and Rickard Stark, Aerys called for the heads of Robert Baratheon, who was Lyanna's betrothed, and Eddard Stark, now the Lord of Winterfell. Luckily for Robert and Eddard, they were in the Eyrie, one of the forts here, capital of the Vale of Arryn, and the noble Jon Arryn refused to oblige Aerys' request. So now there's a war that's breaking out. So Jon Arryn, who is fostering Eddard Stark, and Robert Baratheon, has risen up in rebellion, and they're marrying into the Riverlands. So there's going to be this alliance of the North, the Riverlands, Vale of Arryn, and the Stormlands. So houses Baratheon, Tully, Arryn, and Stark fighting against the Crownlands, who will have an alliance with Dorne as well. And they're already allied to the Tyrells of the Reach. There's Mace Tyrell, which you'll recognize from the show. Okay, we now need to renegotiate a new deal with the Iron Bank. And again, we're going to take a neutral approach. We'll take their initial offer, that's fine. We should be able to win this battle. Okay, the Stormlands. They tell us of Robert's rebellion. Robert Baratheon, furious with Aerys, declared House Targaryen his mortal enemy. He and Eddard would have to travel back to respective realms before they could call their banners. This encouraged several traitorous houses to declare themselves loyalists to the Targaryen crown. And we can see that Summerhall is one of those. Essentially these three. Fontown, House Grandison, House Catherine, and House Fell. Okay, same thing is happening up here. You can see Goldtown has declared their independence from the Vale of Arryn. And in the Riverlands, the Freys have... Oh, I need to take a screenshot of that and report it to the gentleman who created this mod. That should be an ever-furtive house. Not declared their allegiance to the annoyance of Hoster Tully, who's their liege lord. Whether or not they support the rebel cause is unknown, and it would be wise to keep an eye on them. Okay, so there's war in the south, and that will be a nice opportunity for us to consolidate some power up here. And the rebels do have a good shot if they can keep their army away from being stack wiped really early. The Crownlands do have a lot of troops, and you can imagine that a lot of troops are up here, here, and here, so they've got to move themselves down south before they can join up with House Baratheon's troops in the Stormlands. And House Baratheon has a problem that these rebels are mountains, they're mountains, they're in hills. These guys have hills, so it's difficult for House Baratheon to subjugate these rebels early on. So they should play passive and be very selective about the battles in which they engage. And if they can do that, then they can beat up on some Targaryen troops and just wait to piece out the Reach and Dorne, and then go for a limited victory over the Targaryens. It's determined by winning battles, the CB. All that I know from playing as House Baratheon. So they're hostile towards us. But Craster is friendly. Why don't we Royal Marry into that? We're allowed 4 relations, we have 1, and that'll be the last one they go towards. Nice. Queen Regent is a bold fighter, so we'll get better generals. And we could actually call in our allies. It doesn't require favors. So all favors determine is trust. Okay, we're going to lose tons of money. Okay, the Fen, they're right up there. I could have gone for RedBstrd, since my gamer tag is RedBstrd. But, yeah. Okay, so the same thing happened to Riverlands. There's some loyalists that broke free. We can see House Derry, House Ryger. Of course, House Goodbrook over here. Okay, so there's a Battle of the Bells. Hoster Tullian, let's point that out, it should be a nobleman, has joined the rebel cause. Meanwhile, in the Crown's Land, the ineffectual Owen Merryweather has been replaced by John Connington, a friend of Rhaegar's. He's named Hand as the King. To combat Hoster Tully's host, Era sent John Connington an army to the Stony Sept, which would become the site of the Battle of the Bells. During this battle, the heir to House Arryn, Dennis Arryn, was brutally killed. Let's see, do they have a new... They have Hugor Arryn. So that would have been Sweet Robin, Robin Arryn in the show, or Robert Arryn in the books, but it's randomly determined after the first initial people. I imagine that Stannis Baratheon is the heir here in the Stormlands. He is. A 17-year-old with a 526, glorious. And here, Tywin Lannister is the ruler, with Tyrion as his heir, because Jaime has already joined the Kingsguard. Down here, we have Doran Martell with Arianne Martell as the heir. A Willis died. So who knows who Mace's heir is going to be. We'll see how long Eddard survives. He's a 555 with Silver Tongue. So they'll quite likely put him in battle with that 5 military, so he could die. And we'll see a few other people, like we can see the Dothraki over here are already ruled by Khal Drogo. He's 30, 226. Are they already at war? No, not quite yet. We play as Qohor in the other game that I may finish and upload. I'm just not sure if people would be super interested in it. Crack these walls. We really need to conquer this quickly. And why don't we start fabricating here as well? I think we're going to send these troops south. I don't want the extra attrition from having more troops down here. But if we leave 2 down here, they could easily be stack wiped by somebody attacking us. And we could get another unit. Oh, our faith declines. We're losing some at Zealotry. That's unfortunate. Let's check out the institutions. So we are behind here. Feudalism. Looks like we do have. But the first one is Rumors of Magic. Wait, do we have feudalism? Then why? So this one isn't supposed to spread until 1290. So that's kind of strange. Let's take a look. We're 30 minutes in, so I'm going to stop this video and just start up a new one, just so that the videos aren't too long.